No, in 8th shloka, second part we have to say. Om Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Okay. In Gita, Suharun Mitrar Jnana Vijnana Truptatma Kotastho Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi Samaloštashma Kanchana. Just a minute, whether I have done correctly. Yes, it is. So, Jnani's nature we were discussing. So, when does one become from 4th to 9th shloka? This is a Jnani's, yogi becomes a siddha, a perfect yogi. So, Jnana Vijnana Truptatma Kutastho Vijitendriyaha Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi Samaloštashma Kanchana. A person who has a control over his body, mind and sense organs. The control means that you can use your body, mind and sense organs for any length of time, whichever work you want. The body, mind and sense organs don't protest, don't resist, don't create any problems. They really comfortably cooperate with you. If you want to sit in a meditation, your body sits. Sense organs don't become restless. Mind also cooperates. So, control means that the desires, the impulses, the instincts are removed. Impulses are removed, instincts are removed. Body, mind and sense organs are relaxed, peaceful. So, behind the sense organs, it is actually the mind alone. It is the mind alone that is operating the sense organs. So, if the mind is purified, sense organs become controlled. So, one is the purity, second is the habit. Both have to be removed. Therefore, we have to subdue, train the sense organs and mind, body also, body, sense organs and mind, in for whichever purpose you use them for long time, they get habituated. Body gets habituated, sense organs get habituated, mind also get habituated to do only certain things. But here, for sake of spiritual life, for sake of Atma Jnana, body, mind and sense organs have to be reoriented. So that reorientation of sense organs and mind is called here control. So that generally for people, the sense organs have their own desires. Eyes want to see, ears want to hear. But you become so restless that ears get attracted to them and they want to hear. Eyes get attracted to them, they want to see. But in a person of self-control, sense organs themselves don't desire anything. If you want, you can use them. That means sense organs become really organs. Organs become really instruments. Instruments become real instruments. They have no, generally you see a servant. I think this helps you to understand better. If there is a servant means your worker, your assistant, your worker. And now you want to go somewhere, you want to achieve something, and you want the workers to come and they will come. Want them to work, they will just work. That means whichever work you want, their help, they will be ready to cooperate and remain with you and work for you. If suppose that worker has his own personal interest, and he will tell that no, I can't do this thing, I have to go elsewhere, I have to do these things, I want that thing, I want this thing. He keeps making demands. If a person has his own desires, his own working, he won't cooperate. Therefore, we call a servant or an assistant, a servant or an assistant or a group of workers under you. You train them, you mold them in such a way that whichever work you plan, they will be ready for you. Without protesting, resisting, they will be totally surrendered to you. They'll work for you. Whichever plan work you have, they'll instantly cooperate and totally absorbed in the work. If they have, suppose, their own desires, their own interests, and if their interests and desires clash with your interests and desires, they won't be able to cooperate. That's why we call them a group of workers. That means a group of workers who are always attached to you, interest in you. They feel that your interest is their interest. You have a plan, they will take it, they will take your plan as their plan. Therefore, they will be totally wholeheartedly absorbed, wholeheartedly work for you. So in those days, we used to have such kind of workers who are totally dedicated to masters. So it is, see, if you have a certain group of workers, a team of workers who are totally dedicated to you, this will give you too. In worldly sense, you can achieve something, because anything can be achieved only with a group of people. A single man can't achieve anything. A single man can't achieve anything. You need a group of people, a team of people to help you, to cooperate you wholeheartedly, without protesting, without resisting, and also with a coordination. If you have a 10 people, suppose, or 15 people, they all should be working in a coordination. If some of them work one side, if there is a group politics, 2 people one side, another 2 people another side, they protest, resist, quarrel, and with such people you won't be able to do anything. And if they keep on quarreling, you can't work, you can't get anything done. So here, a disciplined, cooperative, coordinatedly they work, disciplined people, dedicated people, devoted to you, and they work. So in these things, 2 things is required. In worldly sense, you can achieve something through such team of workers, team of assistants. Secondly, it is a great spiritual sadhana for them to dedicate themselves to a master. When they dedicate their life, they become disciplined people, highly disciplined people. That means they too need a self-control. If they have a self-control, their body will cooperate, sense organs will cooperate, and mind will cooperate. It doesn't protest. Instantly come. If you want some work, you give them instruction, they all come together and work and instantly start working. So this kind of working system was there in those days. They were so much dedicated that they would devote their life completely to their master. So both in life and death they will dedicate. They dedicate in such a way. In some places I have heard some stories in ancient days. When the master passes away, they also die with him. So these modern people, they feel it is something bad, something wrong and all. They are not seeing anything good in it. See, this modern civilization seems to be something mentally crack. This modern civilization and modern people are essentially mental cases. They can never be sane people. I don't see any saneness in these people, I am sorry to say. I can never see any saneness. Because they are highly disturbed people, highly, I don't know any psychological term to call them, use them. Because first thing is they are against discipline, against values, against purity of life, against something deeper life. They want to live like animals. They are animals and they set animals as a goal. Animalism as a goal. They live like animals and the animals alone are their goal. So there is no Atma beyond the body. So this atheism or some kind of a materialism is what modern civilization means. So That's why these history books are terribly evil books, I tell you, because they are all written by evils alone. And I don't know why, what these intelligent people who have a culture, values, spirituality, what are they doing? They are sitting idle, or they are wasting their life instead of helping the society. They should write history books. They should evaluate each person, the history of ancient history, because they can understand the ancient civilization. It has got a different purpose, it has got values, discipline, and all. So particularly this European history, why European history? Every history, these missionaries are most, I think there is no words, no language is enough to abuse these missionaries. They have spoiled everything. They can be most evilest thing on the earth. Whatever is the most evilest thing, and they are that. Because when we want to read some European history, we don't know. Ultimately, wherever you go, you find only missionaries have written. Only missionaries' books are only you get. First thing is they are incapable of understanding anything in life, because they themselves are mental cases. They are incapable of understanding anything. So the Asuras, in our Indian language, we call them Asuras. They are Asuras. So they have, if they are, the only difference between our Asuras and they is, these Asuras, just they live for their own life and they die away. They may give trouble to people as long as they are alive. But once they die, everything ends. But these Asuras called missionaries, not only they are highly disciplined, organized Asuras. That is the difference. Our Indian Asuras are only disorganized, unorganized Asuras. But these European missionary Asuras are only organized Asuras. So therefore, not only they are doomed, they will also don't allow you to read any history, any society, any culture, any religious, spiritual book. Everything they interfere. Everything they interfere. They write books, they build buildings, they adopt the younger generation so that they will not become better people. They will not become better people. They adopt countries, they rule countries, they destroy the societies so that I think why society is waiting to see such fellows. The ideology, the thinking, their existence has to be wiped out for the humanity to survive as a sane people. These missionaries and mullahs, both are the most vilest people on the earth. And I think they are more than our Asuras in our Puranas and our Shastras, because they destroyed everything. They interfere in everything. They write history books, they build the societies, they build generations who can become mental cases. They are mental cases and create mental cases. Because no saneness, wherever there is a little sanity, little saneness, they search for it and destroy. They are allergic to any saneness on the earth. Therefore, we wanted to study Rome, Greek, and their histories earlier. Everything has been interfered by missionaries. They destroy everything. All ancient cultures, histories have been interfered under it. Whichever book we want, because all that we know is only English language to know about Europe. So we have no other alternative sources. And then the English has been, we feel English is only a missionary language. Entire English is only a missionary language as far as India is concerned. The entire English is only a missionary language. That means only evil alone. That's why we found English was only evil. Because English is the only gate through that if we want to understand ancient culture, ancient civilization of Europe, we have to depend only on English. And the English has been totally monopolized by these missionaries. They interfere European history. They present everything negatively. Only this small point I'm telling. Somewhere in, I don't know whether in Greek or Rome or earliest ancient civilizations, when kings used to live, they would develop their own certain people. The people were so much dedicated to king. They are highly disciplined people. They dedicated to king. Whole life they work for him. When the king dies, they cannot live. They also would die along with him. So it is what a beautiful dedication, what a great life, that in this life they live dedicated to them, and in the next life also they leave the body and go. This irritates the missionaries. They find something greatest wrong in it. I was surprised when I read it for the first time. What is wrong? It is a great dedication. They don't see anything positive in it. They see no positive culture, no positive value, no dedication, nothing in. They like if the people live like animals. If they become Vasuras, they would be very happy because they themselves are Asuras. Asuras appreciate because these are all organized Asuras. Organized Asuras. So therefore, they not only live their life, they set cultures, they set values for cultures. They write books, they interfere. Not only write books, they interfere in others' books, interpret them, they destroy others' books. Ravana did not destroy others' books. Ravana only wanted to enjoy certain things and then kill certain people. All that our Asuras did was only this much. They didn't set certain standards for the next generation, for the generations to come. I think these are unusual Asuras of this world. And still people are tolerating and looking at them. Change them or kill them. I think only two. Educate them, civilize them, and or kill them. That's the only way. Nothing else. Because they don't allow any human being to live as human beings. And people are watching. It's a very strange thing. I think human beings, all sane people have gone mad. It looks that you allow these Asuras to continue and remain organized. They have got machines, equipments, everything they have. And they are how systematically brainwashing the whole world, whole humanity. And people are still watching, trying to see one small goodness in it. See, the strangeness with all our good people is they tries to see a smallest good point in it and tolerate a biggest evil, seeing a small good point in it. A small 0.1% good in it. They see the goodness and tolerate, allow this evil to continue, which is 99.9% evil only. A strange thing. And whereas these evils, these missionaries and mullahs, they don't see, even if there is a 99% good in other cultures, ancient civilizations and cultures, they see them as everything evil alone. Because their books say already depict that any good culture, civilization, spirituality, Vedanta is all evil. It is a devil first, that's all. They have already branded. Now they are only waiting to destroy it. Interfere in the books, rewrite them, destroy the societies, cultures, civilizations and everything. I think I agree with Will Durant, but with little modification. Will Durant wrote a book, The History of Civilization. At one point, at the end of his one, probably the last volume, at the end of his volume, he says, after watching Indian history and culture destroyed by these Muslims and also partly Christian missionaries, he says, civilization is a very delicate thing. And it always faces a threat of being destroyed by these mafia gangs, these barbarians. There is always a threat to a civilization. See, this is a point I repeated. And not verbatim, is almost same words, maybe one or two words changed. Because I'm quoting from memory. Civilization. This proves that how Hindu civilization is a very delicate thing. And there is always a danger to it of being destroyed by barbarians. But I feel little bit pessimistically he commented, but I think, and we people are also taking for granted, but a civilization is not only sensitive, it is not only delicate, but our Hindu civilization was also robust to be able to protect itself and also to destroy these Asuras. We think that civilization, culture is too tender, delicate, like a baby, and it can be easily destroyed by barbarian. But the civilization means it is capable of resisting, capable of being strong, capable of either change them, reform them, educate them, reform these evils, Asuras, or kill them even. The real civilization is ready for both. It is good as well as it is good because it is intrinsically good. But it is bad because it wants to destroy the evil. Both it should be. Evil should always be continuously under check. Totally wiping out evil is impossible, but it should be continuously under check. Such a system we should have evolved and did it. When we lost this system, and we are totally wiped out. We are in the last leg. India, Hinduism is in the last leg. We don't know whether we shall survive. Bhagavan alone should be able to tell us. So will durance is a delicate statement. What he told is, civilization is a delicate thing. But it is not only delicate. Everybody is quoting. But our civilization not only delicate, it was capable of resisting and destroying the evil also. We have lost that other aspect of self-protection and also destruction of the evil. You see in all our Shastras. In Bhagavad Gita we have seen Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Our God stands for this. Any good person must do this. Both. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam. But we have reversed the whole thing. The evil, we are trying to see a small good point, 0.0001% good, and we try to protect the whole evil with that. And that is the biggest mistake. This is where life mistake lies. Even now I see them, some good people trying to paint Christianity and Islam as a nice religions. Communism is still nice because it has certain good points. They're trying to paint them. And they appreciate that they are so nice people, good people. They try to see good in it. You show me some good in it. They are basically evil, essentially evil. They can only destroy everything. You are not able to see. See, you see a small 0.0% goodness and want to tolerate the 99.99% bad, evil in it. And they see 99.9% good in us appears as a wrong to them, as a Satan to them, and they destroy. We have failed. I think humanity has failed. Only these religions are surviving. They are controlling their whole world. They are controlling. And what are we doing? And again, we are making our will durance statement correct. Okay. So, but our Shastras, including Bhagavad Gita, which talks of forgiveness, non-violent, selflessness, egolessness, right? Still, see, it is a strangeness of Bhagavad Gita. It talks of the deepest philosophy, highest philosophy, where you transcend total individuality, egoless. At the same time, it teaches that you use your weapon to kill the wicked fellows, reform them, kill them, control them. 3. See, reform, control. If you can't reform, keep them under check. If you can't keep them under check, continuously under control, wipe them out. 3 options. Reform. And then what is good, protect. 3 things. What is already good, protect it. What is wrong, reform it. What cannot be reformed, keep it under control, continuously under control, check. If it cannot be continuously kept under check, because it has gone so much wild, so poisonous it became, better remove it. Better remove it, totally destroy it. I feel these 4 points which I have told. One is protect the good. Reform. Second point, reform. Third, what cannot be reformed, keep under check. What cannot be kept under check, destroy it. These 4 principles are inevitable in any Vedanta. Okay? It's a part of Bhagavad Gita. And we lost these 4. That is the real reason. Civilization is delicate. There is always a danger of being destroyed by the barbarians. This statement of will durant, our Indians have been quoting, oh, how great it is. It is not great, it is a dangerous statement also. Because he says there is always a danger of being destroyed. That means he says one side he shows sympathy for Indian civilization, ancient civilization, but he defends it. He says it is natural that it can be destroyed by. It is not natural. Destroyed by barbarian. It is not natural. Barbarians destroying is not natural. It is not always threat. You can't say always threat. There is always threat, but you can't say that is natural. That is because of our ignoring. There is a defect in the civilization. Because of a defect in the civilization, these barbarians have thrived and destroyed it. And even now the barbarians are more powerful. So protecting dharma not only in India. You can't protect dharma in India. You have to protect it all over the world. Asuras have to be wiped out all over. Ikshvakuna miyam bhumihi sashaila vanakanana should be extended to the entire globe. Ikshvakuna miyam bhumihi sashaila vanakanana. You have to extend it. If you retain poison somewhere in some corner, it will spread after a few days. Okay? Therefore, dharma implies these four. Protecting good, not only protecting it, improving and spreading it. Okay? Following dharma, protecting dharma, following dharma, improving it and expanding it. Expanding, improving, spreading it all over the world. Okay. Then regarding the evil, reform it, check it, or destroy it. All these processes should keep going on. If these things are not done, then the civilization becomes delicate, as Vildurant told. Okay, so the sense organs control. In this Gita, control of sense organs means. So I was talking of a group of people. Somewhere I read it regarding the Greek king or somewhere, I don't know. Some European king in Egypt probably, Egypt or Greek. There used to be a group of servants to the king. When the king dies, all other people die. There may be certain political wrong aspect also, but I take it more as a positive aspect. See the dedication, discipline of the people. That they totally dedicate, because the dedication and discipline shows that you are more than body. Because why should you control sense organs and dedicate yourself? That means what is to be dedicated? Your mind has to be dedicated. Ego has to be removed. Sense organ has to be controlled. Why? Because they are evil. They have to be controlled. You are not dedicating the wisdom. You are not dedicating means you are giving up. You are not giving up the wisdom. You are not giving up the selflessness. You are giving up the selfishness only. Selfishness needs to be controlled and kept under check and purified. Okay. Therefore, if a group of people dedicate, you see Lakshmana, that's why they don't appreciate Lakshmana being dedicated to Rama. Sita totally surrendering to Ramachandra. They don't see any good in it. They are seeing evil in it. It requires what a purity, what a discipline. The body, mind and sense organs are totally purified. Therefore, that kind of an ideal is lacking. That kind of social life is lacking. Gurukula, parents, government. We had all these things. This kind of dedication existed in Gurukula. In family structure, the family members totally surrender, dedicate themselves to head of the family. The dedication is a more spiritual. You see the spiritual depth in it. People will become, not only the head of the family has a self-control, even the followers learn the self-control. Similarly, to the king all the society dedicates. So when you dedicate, when you surrender, when you serve the king, people learn a lot of discipline, selflessness, they remove their ego, self-control comes. It is a great purity, great discipline, great spiritual value. But all these spiritual values are presented as a negative. We can say democracy. Democracy is a synonymous to idiocracy. What is democracy, you tell me? Leave the wise man and follow the fools. That's what is democracy. But Indian way of understanding democracy is different. Democracy means caring for people's interest. Follow the people's interest. A king's, that we already have. Praja Ranjanatvat Raja. So the Raja rules, Raja orders, but keeps in view the public interest. See, we have got such a thing. We need a leader who controls the society, but at the same time keeps the interest of the people. See, if the king doesn't mean dictatorship. They have interpreted every word negatively. King doesn't mean simply dictator. King orders. King orders and controls people. But the very definition of king, Praja Ranjanatvat Raja. See the Indian word. Ranjana, Praja Ranjanakaraha Raja. Ranjana means he pleases them. He does good to the people. Praja Ranjakaha Raja. So our kavya should be reinterpreted in the light of these modern ideas. Our people are studying what you call kavyas only just for the word meaning, Samskrita, or they go into the, as if antics, they study that antics. And I feel if I study kavyas, I'll reinterpret in the light of this concept of democracy and our kingly royal rules, royal discipline, values, and etc. Everything I'll compare, contrast, and show how they become relevant to our modern life. See, our king's life, ours was king's, what you call the royal system. I don't know what they call. It is a royal system, but it is not against the democracy. It includes democracy. But now the European terms, these British missionary terms, we got them. King means only dictatorial. Democracy means any idiotic thing people want, you fulfill them. Both spoiled democracy, their interpretation is so extreme interpretation. King means only dictatorship. Democracy means only whatever the common mob demands, you just follow them. Both are evil. There was a rulers, and the rulers won't yield to the people. But they take interest, keep the interest of the people in view. But they don't yield to people's foolishness, uncontrolled people. People who lack discipline and values. Such people's words should not be heard. You should not give, their vote doesn't count, should not count. Because they don't know what they want. They just get carried away by impulses and desires. A person who gets carried away by impulses and desires, he has no right. He cannot rule. Neither he can rule himself nor he can rule others. Therefore, general public dedicating to the country, obeying the king, gives a lot of discipline and values. So therefore, Desha Droha, you can see them. Desha Droha has become common now. All over the world, it is becoming common now. In India, is a little degree more. Desha Droha is considered as a great value. That shows people are degenerated. The values are lost. They become animals, worse than animals. So the real value is, see, that's why we had a system. Disciples follow Guru. Follow Guru in such a way that they treat Guru as a Bhagavan. Then that comes values. Mind is purified, self-control comes, everything comes. Then the family members dedicate, serve the father as a Guru, father as a God. Okay? That's why Pita Putra Sambandha, Guru Shishya Sambandha is comparable to Ishvara Jiva Sambandha. Or even a king and servant, master and servant, father and children, and also husband and wife, and also Guru and Shishya. These four are models for Ishvara and Jiva. Shankaracharya Swami Bhritya Nyaya he uses. But the Swami Bhritya Nyaya can mean Guru Shishya. And then the father and children, Pita Putra. See, these words implied a lot of discipline and values and a great spiritual discipline. And all our ancient civilized life is reinterpreted as barbaric because these fellows are barbarians. These missionaries interfered and spoiled everything. And our kavyas are also getting spoiled because they have given such now. Now the kavyas, how people are reading our Puranas and kavyas, they don't see self-control, control of sense organs, control of mind. You see them Bhagavad Gita, how many times it is Atmanigraha. You just search for how many words Bhagavad Gita uses throughout these 17 chapters. First chapter talks of only some story alone, Arjuna Vishada. From the second chapter to 18th chapter, we should search, which talks of self-control, body control, sense control, mind control. How many words are used now and how many times each word? See, Atma Sanyamaha, Nigraha, Jitatma. What is it? Jitatmanaha, Vijitendriyaha. How it is important. All life, all civilization, all starts with this self-control. Without that, nothing is achieved. And modern civilization is dead against self-control. So do whatever you like. The idea of freedom means wildly live. First, they are against obedience, against self-control. But the civilization culture starts with these two, self-control and also surrendering your ego. Obedience. That's why, what is Veda? Veda defines, you see, our Puramimamsa defines what is dharma. Chodana lakshano artho dharmaha. Chodana, Vedic Agnya, Vedic injunction. Now modern people, those who want to disobey, see, we want disobedience. Tell me what is religion, what is book, what is Dharma Shastra. Not against our principle. Our principle is disobedience is our principle. Tell me what is Dharma. You are already become evil. That is what I can teach you. Dharma starts with only obedience. They say obedience first is removed. That means there is no Dharma. Self-control we don't want. Except these two you teach us. There is no education. They say there is so much of education spreading, so many schools and colleges, how much of books are written, lot of media, learning media, so much. All the media is divided of these two. Self-control and obedience. Obedience to society, obedience to king, obedience to elders, obedience to guru, obedience to father, and self-control, control of sense organs, mind and body. Body, mind and sense organs. So all education consists of these two, self-control and obedience. This is what is dharma. They say except this we build the civilization, education, science and all institutions, more media. There is more media. Lot of education media, schools, colleges, media. But all of them, these two things are missing. Self-control and obedience. But dharma means only these two. Without these two, there is no dharma. You can become asura. Comfortably you can become asura. I'll assure you. If you give up these two, you'll become asura. Therefore, modern civilization can be called asuric. I think unless we interpret this way, you can't understand. Interpret means in the light of these modern ideas. You have to see, if you don't understand Puranas, Bhagavad Gita and our kavyas, in the light, kavyas means Kalidasa kavyas, not anybody's. In the light of, even the Kalidasa's kavyas talk of self-control. Our arts talk of self-control and elevation of the mind. Purification of the mind and control of senses. The basic, the instinctive, impulsive nature has to be subdued and you have to purification. And this is essential point. And all human life, humanity begins with this thing. Dharmena hina pashubhis samana. This one beautiful shloka explains completely of the modern the contrast between our ancient civilization and modern civilization. Ahara nidra bhayamaithunancha samanyame tad pashubhir naranam dharmo hitesham adhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhis samana. There are certain basic essential shlokas. And the shlokas are lost. Because the very modern civilization, in the modern civilization, this has no place. Because they talk of freedom. Freedom is the sacrosanct and beginning and end of it. It is A and it is the Z. It is the beginning of it and end of it. No surrendering, no obedience, and also no self-control. Do whatever you like. All research means only this wildness alone. They say, don't teach them discipline. Don't teach them self-control. Don't teach them obedience. They'll become scientists. See, this is what I have been hearing. A person, highly restless person, will become scientist. A quiet person may become spiritual man, but is useless for modern civilization. We need restless people. We need wild people. We need vulgar people, so that modern civilization can develop. Okay? Now, in short, we have got 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Asuri Sampad is modern civilization. Okay. Therefore, see, Jitatmanaha, in these two shlokas of 7th and 8th, first word is Jitatmanaha. In the 8th shloka, again Vijitendriyaha. He talks of it. Prashantasya, again control of mind. Control of mind, I think it's a good point. Control of mind, control of sense organs, control of body. How many terms, how many words are used and how many times in the entire Bhagavad Gita? This shows how important it is. How important it is. And this theoretically explanation is meaningless. Self-control cannot be explained theoretically, and it is not theoretical. It's not conceptual. Self-control is not a conceptual thing. There's no definition, no explanation, nothing. All this is useless. You have to control. There is no way. You have to start with control. Let the wildness of sense organs, the impulses and instincts be controlled. Then you see the beauty in it, the joy in it, how sense organs cooperate. Anything you want to do, hours together you can sit. Mind will remain. Sense organs will remain. They don't protest. They don't want anything. They can sit. They'll cooperate. So in the society, we have to create a social atmosphere where self-control and also egolessness, obedience, self-control and obedience. But obedience can be very too negative obedience, where the person loses individuality, loses maturity, and becomes a mechanical. That is another extreme that we don't say that. There is a healthy obedience which purifies you, which makes you a selfless man, egoless man. So dharma means this. Therefore, in the 7th and 8th shloka, Jnani, a yukta, a yogi, whether you take karma yoga, whether you take jnana yoga, or you take bhakti yoga, or you take dhyana yoga, or take simple dharmatma, in all these things, self-control and obedience, these two are essential. These two are essential. In all our civilization, whether in a political field, social field, economic field, individual life, family life, anywhere, this is the beginning and this is the end. No compromise, no alternative. There may be alternatives in other areas, but in upasanas you can have many alternatives. In religions you may have many alternatives, but self-control and obedience, there is no alternative to it. It is essential for all sadhanas, all teaching. In ethics, dharma shastra, it is required. In all our niti shastra, self-control. A king, self-control. Chanakya talks of niti shastra. Chanakya talks of our artha shastra. He says, Raja, first you see self-control. He will be fit to rule the country only when he has a self-control. And that self-control comes by vruddhopaseva, living under the gurus and great people. That is obedience again. Self-control comes by obedience, by living in the company of great people. Shishtas, cultured, mature people. Even the Artha Shastra, he is talking of worldly life. Our Shastrakaras who are talking of even worldly life, empirical life, self-control is required. Without self-control, what can be achieved? Nothing. Nothing. How self-control is important. And that is the one thing removed from the modern civilization, modern education system, modern social life, political life, everywhere. You remove that and talk of it, everything. That means a person should become more asura, then that's a great. That's a very sad. Okay, therefore, jitatmanaha, vijitendriyaha. What happens to such a person? Shitoshna sukha dukkeshu tatha mana pamanayoh jnana vijnana truptatma kotastaha. This is two ways it is a difficult shloka. One is Anvaya wise, it is a difficult shloka. These two shlokas should be combined. These two shlokas should be taken collective meaning, combined meaning. Kulaka. Yugma, not Kolaka, it is Yugma. Kolaka means 5 shloka, Yugma is 2. It is Yugma, 2 shlokas. 5 shlokas put together, together you take, it is Kulaka. 2 shlokas together you take, it is Yugma. So it is Yugma, both 7th and 8th. And in these things, in Anvaya and explaining the sentence means from the standpoint of grammar also it is difficult. And from the standpoint of its meaning also it is difficult, because the earlier also Sitoshna Sukha Dukkheshu Samatva Buddhi is talked of at Karma Yoga level. But this Samatva Buddhi is talked at Dhyana Yoga level. See, this level changes. In Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha, both heat and cold, and then Sukha Dukkha and Mana Apamana, you have to be equanimous, you have to be tranquil, you have to be even-minded. The evenness, the equanimity of the mind in this Sukha Dukkha, Shitoshna, talked about at Karma Yoga level is different, in Dhyana Yoga level is different. So this also has to be understood. In Karma Yoga level, you only tolerate, you don't allow the mind to be disturbed, so that your mind can remain little peaceful, and that mind can be used for Jnana Yoga and Dhyana Yoga and others. Here, the equanimity talked about here is beyond that. Oh, I think we have crossed the time. Yeah, we have crossed the time. Okay, we'll stop with this by just briefly telling in 1 minute. I'll conclude it. So here, the Shitoshna, the equanimity, the evenness talked about in Dhyana Yoga is not the purity of mind. It is the very de-identification with the mind. You do badha of the mind and stand as a sakshi. That means the very mind is removed. In Karma Yoga level, mind is purified. In Dhyana Yoga level, mind is debunked. The mind itself is removed. Mind itself doesn't exist as you wake up from dream. When mind is removed, how can the mind remain? See, I'll tell you. When you wake up from dream, all the dream world disappears. There is no mind. There is no dream mind. But yet you can recall the dream objects. You can recall the dream without the dream mind. See, that is called Badita Anuvritti. The dream doesn't exist. It is a Badita. That means the dream mind doesn't exist, dream world doesn't exist. You can just recall. Similarly here, you transcend. You totally falsify the mind. So here is talked, that's why Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutastaha, second shloka has to be joined with it. Sitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu, what? What happens? The sentence is incomplete. Sitoshna Sukha Dukkeshu Tatha Mana Apamana Yoha Vakya is incomplete. So Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutastaha. This looks that this cannot be combined. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma is talking of Jnana. How can the Jnana be connected with Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha Yoho? It becomes difficult. But Swamiji has combined it. So, in Shita, Ushna, Sukha Dukkha, these experiences, you remain a Jnani and Kutastha. You remain a Vijnanatma. Jnana Vijnana Triptatma means Jnani. Kutastha means you remain as a Sakshi. You remain Sakshi in Shitoshna Sukha Dukkha. At Karma Yoga level, you have a mind which remains peaceful, Sattvika, doesn't react. There is a pain, but it doesn't react. It tolerates. It endures. In Dhyana Yoga, no endurance. They don't exist for you. You transcend them. Okay. So, Kutasto Vijitendriyaha. Such a person becomes Yuktaha Yogi. Yukta word means there is a Yunjana and Yukta. If you learn Sanskrit, if you know Sanskrit words, Yunjana means one who is doing, one who is applying his mind, one who is concentrating his mind. Yukta means one who has perfected the concentration. Yunjana Yogi, Yukta Yogi. Yunjanaha, a person who is applying his mind, learning concentration. Yukta means he is already perfected the concentration. That means he has already achieved the perfection in yoga. That's why Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi. He is a Yukta Yogi, not a Yunjana Yogi. Yunjana Yogi is a Sadhaka Yogi. Yukta yogi is a Siddha yogi. Okay. Sadhaka yogi, Siddha yogi are called Yunjana yogi and Yukta yogi. So Yukta ityuchyate yogi samaloštashma kanchana. So Yukta I have explained. Whatever little I'll say in the next class. And samaloštashma kanchana, this we have to explain. That I'll say in the next class. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om Tat Sat.